Versatile Mage. Chapter 166 Thunder Attack. If his casting speed was slower than his opponent's, the one who would die in battle would be him if he insisted on trying to cast his spell. Thus, Mofan was driven into a situation where he had to give up forming his Star Atlas, and instead whistled towards his Spirit Wolf. The smart Spirit Wolf immediately understood Mofan's intentions and rushed towards him at lightning speed. As soon as the wolf ran past Mofan, he quickly grabbed onto its long fur before pulling himself onto its back agilely. "Run! Run towards the center, far away from the tornado!" shouted Mofan towards his summoned beast. Without slowing down, the wolf ran as ordered while a dust storm approached quickly from behind. If the Spirit Wolf ran even a little slower, both the wolf and Mofan would be within 10 meters of the tornado and their speed would decrease drastically as it drew them in. With Mofan on its back, the Spirit Wolf continued running away. Fortunately for them, the arena was huge enough, and they could only hope they would be able to shake away the rampaging wind beast. "Damn!" Mofan cursed in his heart as they finally arrived at the end of the arena after dashing away from the tornado. When he turned around and looked at the tornado still approaching them without any signs of stopping, he wanted to negotiate with Mu Nujiao again by giving her 70% of the resources, but she would not be able to hear him anymore due to the howling wind. "Woo!" The Spirit Wolf howled softly towards Mofan, signaling him to hide at the corner of the barrier. Before Mofan could react, the wolf had already turned around and stared at the approaching tornado with its glowing green eyes. How? The wolf raised its head and shot out 3 flying wind sand breaths towards the tornado. Its wind sand breath was a move that utilized the power of wind, and the wolf wanted to use its own wind magic to neutralize the wind disk tornado. However, the Spirit Wolf's magic was not strong enough to withstand an intermediate level wind spell. It was just like a kindergartner trying to shove an adult away. It barely did anything. Woo! Upon realizing its efforts were in vain, the Spirit Wolf let out a long howl. Before Mofan could give the wolf any other orders, it had already charged straight towards the tornado, attempting to withstand the vortex with its own body. "Spirit Wolf," murmured the stunned Mofan. Was the wolf trying to use its body to fight against the wind disk tornado? Mofan clearly remembered the day when the berserk one-eyed wolf, which was on the same level as a Spirit Wolf, failed to withstand intermediate level magic. Now, even if his Spirit Wolf survived, its bones would still be shattered into pieces after ramming into the tornado. Within the dust storm, the Spirit Wolf could not be seen clearly anymore, only a black figure moving faster and faster. In the end, Mofan clearly saw the figure of his wolf being hurled towards the center of the tornado. His Spirit Wolf was flung into the air after colliding with the tornado. Fortunately, its sacrifice was not in vain. The tornado finally stopped moving forward and the power of the wind decreased after the collision. At the back of the storm, Mu Nujiao quickly noticed the Spirit Wolf struggling in the air. Right after the tornado dispersed, the summoned beast fell towards the ground from 30 meters up in the air. The Spirit Wolf had already lost its balance. If it landed headfirst, it could be instantly lethal. Up! Mu Nujiao raised her hands and formed a gust of wind that buoyed the Spirit Wolf slightly, slowing its plummet and saving it from death. However, when the wolf landed on the ground, it still suffered a heavy injury which completely immobilized it. The wind disk tornado appeared in an instant, and disappeared in a split second as well. At the far end of the barrier, Mofan let out a relieved breath as soon as he saw the Spirit Wolf saved from death. "Thank you for your mercy, but I will not surrender without a fight," shouted Mofan as he stared at Mu Nujiao with a sharp gaze. Ever since the beginning, Mofan had deemed this lady to be a very dangerous opponent, and he was right. The Spirit Wolf had risked itself, squeezing out its remaining strength to neutralize the attack of its master's opponent. Mofan felt he must not let down his loyal summoned beast. "Show me your true strength," said Mu Nujiao. Mofan quickly returned his summoned beast back into the dimensional space so it could rest and heal. After all, the wolf had been fighting for him for a very long time, and this woman had to be dealt with personally. At the same time, without any delay, Mu Nujiao started forming another star atlas, clearly visible from the countless star paths appearing around her. "Not on my watch," shouted Mo Fan, who obviously did not want his opponent to have the chance to cast her spell. He raised his hand, and a violet star path was formed in an instant. Violet lightning started forming on top of Mo Fan's head. With a grasp and a hurl, the violet lightning shot straight across the arena and flew towards Mu Nujiao, who was halfway through forming her star atlas. Upon seeing the incoming lightning, Mu Nujiao inevitably had to avoid the attack, and as a result, the spell she was channeling was disrupted. Mu Nujiao had not seen that coming. She thought he would fight her with his intermediate magic. Instead, her opponent cancelled her spell channeling by using a basic level spell, which surprisingly proved to be quite efficient. The star paths quickly formed a lightning star atlas, pumping energy into the surroundings and infusing it right into Mo Fan. With energy surging within him, his hair standing on end, lightning sparking around his body, Mo Fan shouted and pointed his finger towards the skies, manipulating the raging lightning into coming down and turning into a horrifying lightning bolt. An intermediate tier lightning spell was formed, and thunderclouds appeared above Mu Nujiao. Hua! With an ear-piercing shriek around the arena, the thundercloud gained the attention of everyone. Violet lightning came rushing down from the clouds, tearing the area apart with relentless power, and struck towards Mu Nujiao mercilessly. Unlike the wind disk tornado, which first pumped out all the air around it to form a rampage, the lightning bolt was more straightforward. It simply absorbed enough energy before raining down from the skies. Thus, the lightning bolt might not sweep across the surroundings like the wind disk tornado, but once it struck someone precisely, there was a very high chance that the person would die on the spot under its horrendous power. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.